Okay, this next routine I call History Mystery. Okay, the explanation for History Mystery. Again, we're using the one-ahead principle. We're using some themed playing cards. In my case, we have all the monarchs of England and Britain from 1066, which of course was William I, or the Conqueror, right through to Elizabeth II, present day. Before you go into the trip, before I get into the explanation, I'll just explain. I have this little purse pouch. Now you can get these in pound shops for about £1 actually. But this one's great because it sort of automatically sort of springs shut. Any sort of container will do. Now in here I have a folded business card. And the folded business card has actually got nothing on it. That stays in there. So I have my purse, I have a couple of business cards to write on, and I have my monarch cards. That's the setup, okay? So this is what we do. Before we get them to choose a monarch, I say to the spectator, I tell them I have a keen interest in history. I might even tell them that I was once a history teacher, blah-de-blah-de-blah. And then, as a casual sort of gesture, I say, are you interested in history? Whether they say yes or no, or you say, well, is there anyone that interests you in history? It doesn't have to be something political, it could be someone from the sporting world or the entertainment world. In other words, pretty much anyone who ever lived. That's what makes this such an amazing thing. But it's done very casually, because you say, is there anyone that interests you? And you're trying to get a name from them. So let's just say, for argument's sake, they say Julius Caesar, very famous Roman general who was to become emperor before he was murdered in 55 BC. But anyway, say they say Julius Caesar. You say, fine. Okay, well let's get back to these monarchs. Okay, by the way, if they do name a monarch as someone they like or admire, say, I tell you what, don't mention a monarch because we're going to do something with the monarch, so could you think of someone else? That's only ever happened to me once in all the times I've been doing this routine. So, Julius Caesar's forgotten for a second, but you do point out to them that you have this pouch with a folded up business card, which you'll get back to a little later. So, as I said, we have the pouch. This is put to one side, and you say you're going to get back to that later. You show them the monarchs. Now, it's very important. You're going to force one of these cards on the spectator. I've always explained the Hofzinser spread force. Let's take the first one that comes here. No, he's not very well known. Alfred the Great, he's quite well known. Actually, he's before 1066, but never mind. Alfred the Great, a very well known English king. Let's pretend Alfred the Great is the one you need to force on your spectator. On a business card, you write Alfred the Great. Okay? Now this is folded up, like the one in the pouch, and it's put in a place where you can get to it quite easily. Sometimes I just keep it out finger palm the whole time, and I even write with the card in my hand. Either way, it doesn't matter. You can casually just reach in and get it when you need it, okay? So let's just put it in this pocket for now. That's all set to go. Okay, so now you begin the effect. Remember, they've casually mentioned Julius Caesar. You get Alfred the Great, and you've done this before you start the trick, of course, to the 5th position. And then you say to them, I'll tell you what, I'd like you to choose one of these kings or queens. Now, in mentalism, sometimes it's some simple statement or simple thing that makes a trick more effective. For example, I always say this. If I ask you just to look at these and take one out, you might go for an obvious king or queen, like Elizabeth I or Henry VIII, very famous kings. That would make it too easy for me. Really, it wouldn't make it too easy for you, it'd make it really difficult for you. So you say, I'll tell you what, we'll do this blindly. And then you go into your Hoffinser spread force. It's force Alfred the Great. But you see my psychology. It's better, I'm implying it's more fair for them just to touch one of these cards. And I'm doing the force. So they touch one, and then I show them the card. They think it's a free choice. It is in fact Alfred the Great. Now, this is quite important. As soon as they go down, I throw the cards away. Or I even give them and say, put them in your pocket. In other words, there's no way I want to go near those cards. It doesn't matter because I've already forced that Alfred the Great. But this is where it all comes together quite nicely. Because remember, I have my full-throat business card here with Alfred the Great on. So then I do my little sort of bit of mentalism acting. And I say to the spectator, I'm now going to try and guess your monarch. Yeah? So I take a business card out. Now, at this stage, I've actually got this folded up in finger palm here, okay? I've taken it out of the pocket and it's here. You know what this is? This is Alfred the Great. So, I think of your monarch, and I write down AKA one ahead horse, Julius Caesar. Okay? I write down Julius Caesar. Now I've just noticed that this card is a different business card from this card, so that won't work. They've got to be the same. These are newer business cards of mine. So let's get rid of that one. But anyway, that's the same one. That's the only way I am. Okay. My newer business card, so the colours match. So by way of explanation, I have this finger palm. This is Alfred the Great. I ask them to think of their monarch, and I'm using the usual mentalism, magician acting. Come on, think male, female. Is it a male or a female? I'm sort of getting a male. I don't think it's queen. Actually, often when I do this trick, I sort of force a queen, because there's only been 6 queens in British history. And I think that makes it quite interesting if you force a queen. I usually go with Mary the First or something like that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The great thing is you can go with anyone you want. But in this case, I'm saying, think of your monarch. Oh, I think I'm getting a king. I think it's a king. Do you know what? I think this may have been pre-1060 and 1066. In other words, you're doing your mentalism. And I'm writing down Julius Caesar. Okay? Julius Caesar. Now they think I'm writing down the name of their monarch. And I'm saying, yeah, I think it's a male monarch. And then I say, I think, and I fold this up. And I think, the pen goes down or whatever. And I say, yeah, I think this is Now, I have now got to switch out this for this. Okay? This is Julius Caesar. This is Alfred the Great. Very often, I simply do this. This comes over and basically covers that one. You know, magicians often, in these sort of instructional videos, this is really, it's not even a move, I'm just basically doing this. So, the hand comes over and brings this into view. This is Alfred, this is Julius Caesar. So, over, that turns out to hide that as that comes up. So it's all one action. And it looks like you've just taken the monarch card. You can do it like this. It's known as the shuttle pass. There is the monarch, and you do this. And it's not moving actually, it just looks like it's getting deposited into the hand. So that's called a shuttle. Okay, so we have the Julius Caesar card, and we've done the switch out, and we hand the Alfred the Great card to the spectator. Alternatively, we do the shuttle pass and hand this to the spectator. Now the great part about this is now set in my left hand, which is the Julius Caesar card. The first effect is you just pause, and maybe you say a little bit about what you've written down. You may say something like, I believe this was a king, and I believe it was pre-1066. And another nice thing is, because you forced the card, you could be
beforehand have lots and lots of knowledge of whatever king or queen you choose. If you're doing a sporting trick and you've got footballers, you could have a lot of knowledge about a footballer or an industry or whatever. Because it's a force, you can prepare beforehand. Now everyone thinks this as a card trick. If this was just a normal pack of cards, this is a pretty weak trick, because you ask, okay, for the first time reveal the monarch that you picked. They say Alfred the Great. You ask them to open it up and it says Alfred the Great. To a card magician, that's just pick a card which you forced and you've written it down. As a magician, that's quite weak, isn't it? I think with these theme cards it makes it a lot stronger. It takes it beyond a card trick. So don't dismiss that, because that's quite strong in itself. However, this really strong bit comes, they've opened that. You pause and you say, do you remember we had the pouch here the whole time? I have a folded up business card here. They say obviously yes, because you've shown them that earlier on. You say, you mightn't believe this. Now here's the move. I simply tip, but the card stays inside, and as I tip, I reveal the card that's hidden in my left hand. Okay? One more time. It's like the shuttle pass we did before, the other way around, but using the purse. So it's like this, and basically it looks like you're taking it out. You can't stick this in there with something. If you've got another type of container, you might need to stick that down. But with these purses, because they're quite tight, they stay in, so I don't need to. So there's that. That's blank. They don't know that, and you do this, and I hand that to them. That's been there the whole time? Yes, it has. Do you remember when we started this effect? I did ask you, was there anyone from history that you admired? They will recall that they said, yes, I said Julius Caesar. And then you say, well, you're not going to quite believe this, because that's been there the whole time. And when they open it up, they read Julius Caesar. That is so strong, because they can't reconstruct what's happened in their heads. As far as they're concerned, it seems that the person, the 1 in a million billion people that they chose, was already predicted beforehand there. So strong. So that is history, mystery, and I hope you have a lot of fun with it. Thank you very much.